The biggest movie of 2023, if you do recall, was Barbie, and wow, that ended up aging like, well, it's lead actress. Well, it got snubbed at the Oscars to begin the year, and the only real star to come out of it, the only memorable performance from it, was from Ken. But as people who were reviewing it in earnest, not the shills that are out there saying, oh, it's a wonderful feminist triumph, or, some people trying to take it to level 2 by saying, oh, it's just a parody, it's a satire, until you listen to the comments from screenwriter and director Greta Gerwig saying that no, it's not that deep. It was supposed to be exactly what you've seen on the screen. I can't wait for more of her sterling work to manifest on the silver screen in the form of Snow White, because she's the screenwriter for that. Oh, Rachel Zegler and Greta Gerwig together on screen. Oh, it's just going to be such a wonderful pairing. I am going to make more money than Disney is going to off of that abomination. But that's not to let Barbie off the hook. Like, it was reviewed incredibly poorly by the people that watched it as just the man-hating tripe as it presented itself. But most people, most of the access media, most of the shills, most of the insiders in Hollywood praised it to heaven and back because the reasons nobody could really put their finger down outside of superficial aspects like the set design was nice, and boy, isn't Margot Robbie swell, and wasn't she attractive 15 years ago. But somebody who really didn't have anything to do with the film but was simply asked about her opinions on it is Shakira. Shakira, who, by the way, is in her mid to late 40s, by the way, just to compare and contrast that, just to really set the stage here. Talking about how her sons hated Barbie. Oh, okay, cool. Well, it kind of seems like about, the right speed for them, unless, of course, you're Justin Trudeau's kids, which are already confused about so many things, like, why is Daddy spending so much time in the company of other gentlemen? He won't let us come upstairs when he's holding these very rambunctious meetings. Anyways, because it's emasculating, and she agrees. Well, you don't say. I like pop culture that empowers women without robbing men of their possibility to be men. Wow, she sounded like an alt-right bigot, now doesn't she? Shakira graces the cover of Allure magazine and holds nothing back when asked about her thoughts on Barbie, the Greta Gerwig directed blockbuster that topped 2023's box office $1.4 billion worldwide. And spoilers for the box office this year, ain't nothing coming close to that $1.4 billion mark, okay? We just seen Dune 2 gracefully exit wide-scale release and crack 650? Oof. That was one of the big, prospects to get close to that $1 billion mark, but ooh, that's a far ways off. But anyways, and earned 8 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. How many did it take home? Exactly. The music icon said she somewhat agreed with her 2 sons who strongly disliked Barbie, suggesting that the piece of pop culture that robbed men of their possibility to be men. Well, yeah. I mean, what was the closing scene of the film? The men were asking for equitable treatment, or hell, even just the good old standard equality, wanted to be a part of the Supreme Court. However ham-fisted that reference ended up getting put into place. But no. The women who came back, who were also, flourishing in the film under the supposed patriarchy, returned to this oppressive matriarchy and then forced the men down for the simple fact of them simply being men. And that for the most part of the movie, all they were there for is to just simply dote over women, which doesn't look too dissimilar from that to your general Daily Wire audience. Anyways, my sons absolutely hated it, Shakira said. They felt that it was emasculating, and I agree to a certain extent. I'm raising 2 boys. I want them to feel empowered too while respecting women. And we can work on all of that. I like pop culture when it attempts to empower women without robbing men of the possibility to be men and also protect and provide. You just want to build better betas. I understand what you're doing here, but okay. Yeah, because get this, okay? I know Hollywood doesn't understand this, that they think that a strong, empowered woman is basically a dude with titties. Is not the same thing. A strong, empowered woman and a strong, empowered man embody completely different characteristics. That's kind of what she's alluding to, just in a much more simplistic approach. I believe in giving women all the tools and trust we can do without losing our essence, without losing our femininity. Okay, fair enough. I think that men have a purpose in society and women have another purpose as well. Oh man, that's very bigoted language that you have there. We complement each other, and that compliment should not be lost. Just because a woman can do it all, it doesn't mean she should, the interviewer asked. Well, let's compare and contrast. Let's just roll out the list of comparisons between what a man can physically do and what a woman can physically do, and we'll see how true that statement holds. Why not share the load with people who deserve to carry it, who have a duty to carry it as well? You're giving a lot of this responsibility over to the men, but then again, you're also coming from a frame where you expect proper masculinity to manifest on the screen as opposed to this ham-fisted feminist narrative. Here's interview. It's not the first time a public figure has perceived Barbie as emasculating. Yeah, anybody with a set of eyes and the tolerance in order to drudge through the film. Fantasy comedy ruffled the feathers of some conservative figures. Yes, see how they're trying to tie this in? This is Variety, a industry rag after all. Podcaster Matt Walsh, the first man to ever discover, hey guys, you know that there's a problem in the video game industry? There's woke infiltration. I don't know if you heard about this, but I just figured it out, guys. Condemning the film as the most aggressively anti-man feminist propaganda fest ever put to film. Bill Maher later slammed the film as man-hating. Well, yeah, Greta Gerwig, who also co-wrote the Barbie script with Noah Baumbach, big shock there, weighed in on the backlash in an interview with the New York Times in which she said she never expected such a response because she's stupid. She's a dumb individual, okay? If you've listened to any interviews from this chick, you will immediately come to that conclusion. Certainly, there's a lot of passion. My hope for the movie is that it's an invitation for everyone to be a part of the party and let go of the things that aren't necessarily serving us as men or women. Remember, we're just amorphous, genderless blobs, okay? It's just men or women, women or men. We're all just as good as another. There's no real differentiating markers, and remember to vote blue in November. I hope that in all of that passion, if they see it or engage with it, it can give them some relief that it gave other people. What a vacuous statement. I stand by what I said about this absolute airhead. But Barbie's just a conversation driver, okay? And Shakira is more than likely onto something, even though she's trying to tiptoe around the actual problem. Because, yeah, you want to go ahead and say, oh, yeah, women need to be empowered, blah, 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 the same type of feminist pablum that we've been fed with a 12-gauge shotgun over the past 70-plus years. We get it. But you're not offering an alternative. You're not even offering an optimistic outlook for your two boys. I'm trying to raise two boys, but we're trying to also hold up the sisterhood, right? But what does it mean to be a man? What kind of a representation? What sort of positive masculine representation do we see on screen? And I'm trying to think, even at the beginning of the year, there's no films that immediately come to mind, and the ones that are coming out towards the end of the year is just going to be a bunch of troubled men trying to get in touch with their feelings. You have Gladiator 2, yuck, that's coming out, and he's going to have to reconcile with the sins of his father and overcome a troubled childhood, blah. You have a traditionally masculine franchise in the form of Mad Max coming out. That's not a Mad Max film anymore. It's all about Furiosa. Yuck. And then what? I mentioned it a little bit before. You had Dune 2. Okay, cool. Nothing against the film. I hear the people that watched it liked it either for the film in totality or simply from a filmmaking perspective. It was a monumental triumph. But the lead actor in that, you have little Timothy Chalamet, and is that somebody that you just look at and go, yeah, he is definitely the heir apparent from the likes of 80s and even 70s action stars like Charles Bronson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to a lesser extent Matt Damon in the 2000s. Yeah, he's definitely right there. And the reason why you have men that are seeing what they're seeing on social media, in theaters, on television, well, streaming now, nobody watches television. They're getting given mixed messages, and they can't really figure out because they have an imperative. They know what it means to be a man, but then you have the rest of society, generations of society, holding down what it means to be a man and trying to tell them that what they intrinsically know about being masculine is in fact wrong. No, you're doing it wrong. Your masculine burden of performance, your drive to achieve something greater than what you've been afforded in your life. No, you need to do that all in service of the feminine imperative. Okay, everything that you do as a man will only be validated if you can go ahead and you can capitulate to quote unquote good woman out there. You can go out there and you can find your one, lock her down and allow her to dictate where you end up moving throughout your day so that you don't upset that apple cart and you don't partake like 52% of your brethren in the meat grinder that is the divorce system. Oh yeah, definitely. Continue to listen to society's broken track record of advice that clearly doesn't work. Listen to stuff like this. Women are loving men who embrace baby girl vibe. Think I got a tumor by just reading that. And ditch toxic masculinity. No, they don't. No, they don't. Being so baby girl is the hottest compliment for men. What? You know what that means? I've got a couple of words to describe what so baby girl comes across as, but if they're trying to repackage, oh, just get in touch with your feminine side. I want a man who's in touch with his emotions. A spoiler, that never works. 26-year-old, 6'5" man isn't what comes to mind for most Americans when you think of a baby girl, but it is for Gen Z, and they are, oh boy, what is that, 5 generations into this feminist malaise, and are we better for it? Yeah, exactly. Jacob Elordi, 26, was deemed so baby girl during his promotion as host of Saturday Night Live in January when musical guest Renee Rapp and cast member Bowen Yang made the decree. Oh great, some veritable who's that to the entertainment industry. Some mid-chick and some gay Asian guy. Fantastic validation if that's what you're seeking. You deserve this advice that you're getting. The Australian actor who joined the ranks of other heartthrobs including Pedro Pascal. Timothy Chalamet, there he is, and White Lotus actor Leo Woodall. I don't know who that is. I don't know who this Jacob Elordi guy is. I can imagine it's probably the guy that's, in the middle right there. Just this beanpole looking dude who just got effeminate features. I don't know his personality. Maybe he's a straight shooter, but come on now. I think if he was to tell the truth, that'd be the only thing straight about him. New definition of the term baby girl. See, you're even couching what it means to be a man in 2024 with feminine language. Remaining is a term of endearment, but expanded to include a specific type of swoon-worthy man. A man who is baby girl comes across as sweet, charming, a bit bashful. Oh, he's not like most guys. Oh, and seemingly in touch with their feminine side. See, it's just a repackaging of those old, failed talking points. Ready to talk about their feelings and carry a purse to brunch at any point. Oh, so they just want a gay best friend that they can hop on for a little bit of excitement every once in a while. Cool. It's exactly what women want and men want to become, the antithesis of toxic macho masculinity. You're right. Go ahead. Take advice like this that's not really citing anything except for some self-described experts saying, oh, this is exactly what people want. Meanwhile, okay, cool. You go ahead. You take this advice as a man. You go ahead and you just try to get in touch with your feminine side. You want to be sweet and touchy-feely because, oh, you don't want to be like those other guys that the girl of your desire, that chick who has you so firmly in the friend zone, she doesn't even have you saved in her phone under your name. It's under what service you provide for her. Ride, food, breakfast, dinner, clothes, money. You think that one day you'll catch her slipping, okay? That she'll break away from her toxic boyfriend who she has that rough, passionate monkey sex with. One day she'll get tired of that and that she'll smarten up and you'll be able to take care of her and the stepkid that she'll be coming in tow with. Just see Forrest Gump and his undying love for Jenny, who would only come back to him when she has AIDS. Go ahead. If you want to play stepdaddy for the rest of your life, you go ahead and you take this terrible advice. It isn't going to get you anywhere. Because, yeah, Pedro Pascal, he can get away with kind of a weird 1940s certain political leader youth uniform that he's wearing out there. Or Timothy Chalamet's goofy-ass post-hipster rocker wear. You know why they can get away with that stuff? Because they're stars. Because they have clout. Because people know their name. If you try to do that, you'll get branded as weird or soft. And so it's advice like this. What New York Post is trying to pitch. They don't want better men. They just want better betas. They just want better slaves to the cause. And if you want to go ahead and you want to try, you're going to be different. Oh, you're going to break the mold this time around. You're going to make it work, even though it hasn't for the past 70 years. You go ahead and do that. And you go ahead and fight. You go ahead and fight against biology and see how well it works for you. I'm not telling you to run around like a caveman. No. That's not the other side of this coin. I'm just telling you to be a man on the preface that you're becoming a better man for your own benefit. Not to uphold, not to attain, not to get validation from some negative value proposition. You go out there and you become the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself as a man never, ever makes women the focus of his life or a complement to their life. Just like what Shakira said, complement both sides, men and women. You're uniquely capable of accomplishing different things, but when you come together under a strong masculine frame, you can achieve a hell of a lot. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.